Welcome back to the channel. Today we're getting mega excited. I've been wanting to do this for ages. We are going to be taking a look at the AeroPress Go. Let's get into it. Right, welcome back. Today we are going to be looking at the AeroPress Go. Now, I'm pretty excited about this. There's been a little bit of feedback from the industry of if it's not broke, don't fix it. Not really sure why AeroPress have decided to launch a new product that maybe doesn't do anything better than the standard, but I think I'm gonna like it. Couple of reasons. Tomorrow I go on vacation and I'll be taking this with me. But secondly, I love things that go in things and are tidy and compact and efficient. So I think this brewer is going to be for me. So I've been wanting to do this review for a week now. I've had this sitting on my desk, but I've kept it for this channel to unbox and review. So let's get in to the AeroPress Go. Right, and this is it. This is what you get. And this is what excites me. Look at that. Everything I need to brew delicious coffee is inside this cup. Just look at it. I can just chuck that in my bag, get on my way, get it out, unbox it, and I can brew delicious coffee. Right, so I'm going to open this up, but before I start, you get your mandatory 350 filter papers in there. But let's get into the main event. So, nice little silicone lid, keeps everything together. Inside you get a nice little compact filter holder. You get the brewer with the filter cap. You get a cool little compact stirrer which folds down nicely. You get your standard scoop. That's probably not as good as the standard AeroPress for your overnight oats, so we're going to stick that to one side. And then you get your cup to drink your coffee out of. So all in all, everything you need to brew delicious coffee is inside this cup. So first things first, what has changed from the standard? So we're going to get the standard in and we're going to do a bit of comparison. Right, standard compared to the AeroPress Go. As you can see, it's a lot taller. Well, I'd say a couple of inches taller. Brewing chamber is probably, a couple of inches taller. Noticeable things straight away, you have got the top on the Go, it's a lot slimmer, it's a new design, it's not as big. On the bottom of the plunger, same again, you have got a nice slimmer style on the AeroPress Go than on the standard. I don't think that's going to cause people too many problems. I haven't tried this on a standard cup, but it looks like it will fit, and it fits perfectly on the mug you would be using to drink your coffee. Secondly, one thing which I think is really good, which AeroPress have done, is the standard cap fits on the Go cap fits on the standard, and the rubber bung, which is a changeable piece, fits in the Go from the standard, and the Go fits into the standard. So if anything were to break or perish, you wouldn't have to be buying a separate line or a separate item. So that's really nice. Another thing to mention is if you look at the AeroPress Go filter cap to the standard filter cap, the holes are arranged slightly differently, concentric I believe it is on the Go, and it's missing a hole in the middle. So if anything, that would cause a bit more restriction when brewing, but I don't think it's going to cause too much of an issue to the taste of our brew. So apart from the fact that the Go fits nicely inside this mug, everything else seems to be pretty similar apart from size. One thing that got people talking was the fact that the AeroPress standard fits in a grinder into the top, which is the Paulex Mini, which I'll link below, and people were getting a little bit concerned that obviously the Go wouldn't allow you to fit a grinder in there. I don't have a Paulex Mini, so it's not an issue for me, but I can see why that would be a bit of a bugbear for some people. But I think what would be good from AeroPress would be to design a grinder that would fit nicely into there. That would be pretty nice. But apart from that, everything else is practically the same, bar the size. So one thing I want to do before I get started is I just want to see how much water I can fit in both of these, because I'm thinking I'm going to have to slightly change my recipe. If you want to click above, you will be able to see the last video I did on the standard AeroPress of the standard AeroPress recipe. I'm thinking I might have to change it, or if I don't have to change the recipe, I might have to change my brewing style from the inverted method on the standard to the standard method on the Go. But let's have a look. Let's see how much water we can actually fit into these two, and then we'll make our decisions based on that. So get some scales, tear them off, and let's have a fill up. So 290 grams fits perfectly in the standard. I generally use a 16 grams to 250 ml of water, which gets me a really good mug. Let's try the Go. 240 ml or 240 grams I can fit comfortably in the Go. So I'm probably not going to change my recipe. I'm probably just going to brew it the standard way. Just means that I've maybe got to grind a touch finer just to get a little bit better extraction, because it's going to act at the beginning as a bit more of a drip coffee than an immersion brew, but I'm okay with that. I think we're still going to get delicious results. So I think we've covered all bases. We've had a good look. All we've got to do now is see how it brews. So I'm going to brew this how I would brew whilst I'm away on holiday. Take my coffee with me, take my grinder, my hand grinder. I use a Commandant, so I'm not really worried about it fitting into the AeroPress. I have a nice little pouch that this pops into that I can just stick that away as well. So let's weigh out our 16 grams of coffee and get grinding. Right, so coffee is ground, 16 grams, smells absolutely delicious. I'm using our Los Pyrenees Pacamara Natural because it lends itself perfectly for this brewing method. So let's brew. So I'm not going to do inverted method, so what I'm going to do is I am going to brew the standard method on top of the cup. Give my paper filter a bit of a wet, just to get a good purchase. Click that into place, pop the AeroPress onto the cup, add my coffee, flatten the bed off, and then let's get our water boiling. Right, kettle is boiled, sit it on my scales, tear them off, and I want to pour 100 grams of water in just to get me started. And I'm going to give that a really good stir to make sure all them grounds are fully saturated. And you use a little silicone lid. Then I'm going to add the rest, so up to 250, which, because it's slightly dripping through the filter now, it's going to allow me to pop 250 in. I'm going to take that off my scales, pop in the plunger. That will create a seal to stop any of that dripping through now, and I'm going to give it 30 seconds just for the grounds and the water to do the thing, and then we're going to plunge. Once you hear the hiss, you're done. Bit of a shake. Put that to one side. And there we have it. AeroPress Go. In a couple of minutes. I absolutely love the AeroPress. It's so simple and clean and produces just a great cup of coffee. Let's talk about the cup then. So, cup's a really good size. It's pretty nippy up here, so it's nice to get both hands around it and get it hugged warm. One thing is it feels pretty nice and smooth. Feels like it's going to be good to drink out of. Right, let's get into this. Oh man, just an awesome way to brew. I don't think I'll be using the standard AeroPress anymore. I think it's the Go for me. I just love the way it all packs away, and it's nice and neat and tidy, and it's in one place. Made from the same material as the standard, so it's practically indestructible. Produces an awesome brew, and I'm sold. Well done, AeroPress. That's all I can say. Right, obviously I think it's great. Comment below if you've already got one. Let me know what you think. Do you like it better than the standard, or is the standard for you better than the Go? Do you think, why have AeroPress decided to make pretty much the same brewer but just smaller? I love it. I'd love to know what you think of it. That's the AeroPress Go. Thanks for watching. As always, stay focused and drink delicious coffee.